Sensitive content incoming.
Hey everybody, we'd like to welcome you to the newest episode of the Squatch and Yeti Show. I'm Squatch.
And I'm Yeti.
And welcome to another fun-filled ADHD trip with us.
Yeah. It's been, can't even begin to explain how that's my life at the past couple weeks.
Past couple weeks, years, whatever.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
So real quick, before we get into all this crazy randomness,
Catching up and potential talks of whoa, and there's a dog making noise now.
if you hear any background noise, we're actually recording at Casa de la Squatch today.
Yep.
And I've got a Great Dane walking around making all kinds of noise.
But she's a good girl. Come here, Lila. Good girl.
But real quick, before we get into all this, I'd like to just throw out there that anyone dealing with any mental health issues, crisis, thoughts of
Unaliving.
yes, unaliving yourself. Can't say the S word, apparently.
I can't say the K word either.
Yeah. But reach out to the suicide hotline or your favorite podcasters. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram or YouTube, as well as you can hit up the Crisis and Suicide Lifeline. I said it anyway.
You said it twice already. So
Yeah.
it's
at
okay because you're helping them understand that this is a S-word hotline that can help them. So,
anyways, the hotline number is just 988, 3 numbers. Write them down. Hopefully, you may need it to save yourself or somebody else. So, moving on from that, it's been a couple weeks since we released the episode. First off, Yeti here has not been feeling too swift lately.
I would say this week has been very rough. Last week it was mental stuff. Then I think that's probably what got me sick, to be honest, was I was just, immune system was down from the mental stuff I was dealing with. So I guess a stomach bug or something is going around town. I don't know. But whatever it was, it got me, and it got me hard. I have not been able to maintain hydration very well. I've been trying to keep hydrated, and no grub. And both of us, Squatch and Yeti, are big guys, and we like our food. So that it's been
just a little bit.
It's been a really crap 100+ hours of me not eating. I've only been able to eat here recently, which Squatch witnessed me eat, and
so far so good.
Yeah. If I have to disappear, it's probably because I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah. Just remember, if it comes out the top, the computer's in front of you, so turn around.
I'm more worried about the bottom. Because I might have to borrow a pair of shorts or something if it comes out the bottom.
But no, other than that, we our last episode titled "The Hills." For whatever reason, I don't know if we said something triggering, but
the title might have gotten hit.
Maybe
something.
But we were having issues sharing it, and I wanted to take some time to make sure we're hopefully not going to have any issues with that again.
Yeah, it was exciting and funny simultaneously, because he and I both were sitting there what the hell? What's going on? And yeah, we just couldn't share it. We couldn't do anything with it, and yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it was a fluke thing. Maybe it was a censorship thing.
Maybe they're trying to get us already. They know the cryptids they're onto the cryptids. They know about us.
Funny you say that. So we talk about a lot of controversial things on here, whether it be mental health, state of masculinity in the world, certain rights,
an extreme mass amount of femininity, and other tissue paper people in the world, like the he, she, they, them, and or XYZ purple unicorns out there. So,
but all that, and we discussed aliens, cryptozoology,
Yep.
and we haven't really dabbled too much on religion and politics, though, have we? We've dabbled on politics a bit. That's mostly me just making comments, but
Yeah, I'm referring like talking about it and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's a future episode.
But I actually had a friend ask me the other day talking about it, and they said, so something about, with all this going on, like, what if, y'all get canceled or someone comes after you, which I don't think we have enough listeners for that. Would love for us to have enough listeners for that.
I say that would be amazing if we have that, because that means we're getting the attention of people.
And so, share us and let us get out there and offend everybody for you.
Yeah.
Like, we want to offend them all.
As I've stated before, we are a lightning rod.
But, with all that, they were like, well, how do you, what would happen, like, if something happened or they tried to get y'all in trouble for something? I'm like, well,
Taco.
It's okay, because, like, Yeti, he's my brother. He got my back, And
Yep, we do.
I got his. And it's funny, I was actually, which we're going to talk a lot about, like brotherhood and like having.
I'm recording. I can't hold your call right now. I'm sorry. She's clawing me. I'm sorry.
The dog is demanding attention.
Yes. She said you're talking to something that's not me. What are you doing?
But like, I think especially with men, like, brotherhood is such an important thing because you don't. Whether it's friends, blood relatives, whatever.
Messing with the mic.
We see so many people nowadays willing to throw someone under the bus,
dude,
for anything or nothing.
At the drop of a pin, like, somebody will just be like, "Nope, they're useless." Like, "No, we're betraying them." Whatever you want to say, like, whatever other. I can't use some of my big vocabulary today. I'm gonna let you know that right now. But yeah, dude, I know what you're saying. Like, dude, that's one of the things I actually been having, not myself issues with. Like, I have personal issues with that, but I have an issue with, as in, why are people doing that? Like, why don't you help your fellow person? Especially, like, I know with men it's definitely more prevalent, but women, they don't really, like, the whole, like, sisterhood thing. We work at a nursing home, right? So, God,
yeah.
We have nothing but female coworkers who are like, "Oh yeah, she's super cool. She's my like one of my best friends. She's my work bestie." As soon as that person who's the work bestie leaves the room,
oh my God, that bitch!
Every time, I can't. I'm gonna drop an F-bomb. I'm doing it. I can't fucking stand Patricia. I don't know if there's a Patricia anywhere, but, like, I'm using Patricia because of that meme. Patricia. So. But dude, it's just one of those things. Like, I don't understand why people are doing it the same as you. Like, I know you're a big fan and advocate of the Tate brothers.
Yeah, so, like, I was talking about before we started recording, like,
that's what I was bringing up.
I was watching a deal, I believe, on the Candace Owens podcast, and she had interviewed Tristan Tate and Andrew. Well, Tristan talked about how when they were imprisoned in Romania, they were actually willing to release him before his brother. And he's like, "No, I'm staying in prison with my brother." He told one of the guards there that he actually liked. He said, "Listen, I like you. I'm sorry if they try to release me before my brother. I'm not going to hit you hard, but I'm going to hit you hard enough that they're going to put me back in here with him." Like, the dude was willing to further his own persecution to be there for his brother. And if you're a dude with a best friend, a brother, whatever, like,
y'all have that close bond, that close
you should
brotherhood.
aspire to have that level of brotherhood.
And I can count on one hand, on like 4 fingers, how many people I have who can do that for me. One sitting across the table from me, which is probably the primary candidate, and the close primary candidate is the guy who did our logo, Rob. Like, I trust these guys with my life. Like, that's quite literally what it is. And a little plug for Rob. Rob Lopez did our logo. If you like how that looks, go check him out on Instagram. And I think he's on Facebook. He's maybe not his Facebook, but definitely check out his Instagram. His Instagram, he does all kinds of artwork and stuff for tattoos, logos, posters, whatever you have it. That guy can do it. Sorry, plugging.
No, you're good. We always,
Helping the brother out.
hey, we always got to plug Rob. I don't even personally know him, but
No, he wants he wants desperately to come in, or us come there, him come here, to sit at our table that we're currently at. I'm sorry, I was thinking about that round table discussion we had. I don't want to. I guess I just spoiled it, didn't I?
not really. Just
It hasn't, because it's just a thought. Anyway, we're thinking about getting tables of the round, so it'd be interesting to have people come around and talk. And I know Rob would be definitely a good candidate for this.
oh yeah, for sure. Lots of feelings hurt. The more feelings we can hurt, the better.
I don't know if he would. I mean, he hurts my feelings, but that's because the same thing with the whole brotherhood thing. He's trying to do what's best for me, and I 100% appreciate it. It's the same crap you do. And more people, I think, need to be this way, where like excuse me, the person that they care about, your friend, your sister, whatever have you, you need to tell them the harsh truth of like what BS that they are doing. Recently, Rob has done this. You have done this.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been to you look, I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's not what I said. I'm actually trying to work on my swearing a little bit. But
yeah. We both trying to, but it's not enough people do that. Everybody's so afraid to not step, or excuse me, everybody's just walking on eggshells. Let me just rephrase it that way. It's a little bit easier for me to blurt out. I'm stammering. I'm sorry. Breathe. I'll be all right. What's up? I just stomach is like. I'll be all right. But yeah, dude, like it bothers me that people don't do that. Like they don't tell you. Like they're so concerned about. Oh, I need to walk on these eggshells. I need to be careful. No, tell your friend, tell your family, whoever. Hey, you're fucking up. You're being a fucking idiot. I'm dropping a lot of F-bombs here. You're fucking up. There goes another one. You need to stop. Like, work on yourself. Do whatever you need to do. Like, you're not going to get anywhere in life just doing circles. Yes, if you're stuck in, like, Squatch and I are kind of in a whirlpool of a town, but we're not drowning. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. So, like, it's kind of like you see, like, the parents or whatever that their kid's a junkie, a drunk or whatever, and they keep...
Oh, ADHD fact. I'm sorry to interrupt. I know you hate that. You forgot your Squatch Bigfoot Yeti fact of the day. Or did you not have one?
I didn't forget one. I forgot to get one today.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry.
My ADHD brain didn't let me sit down long enough for that.
I was going to say, sorry. I looked at your phone. I was like, he usually does a Bigfoot thing before we start talking about the
Squatch fact of the day. Sasquatches suffer from ADHD like many people of the world and cannot focus for... shit.
Fact of the day for Yetis, we're assholes and interrupt our buddy Squatch regularly. I'm sorry, I did... ADHD, my bad. I'm sorry.
But no, it's like you're the parents that their kid's a drunk, drug addict, whatever. And I understand, whether it be your kid, friend, whatever, you want to help them. You do. I've had friends go down that path, and I want to help them. And I'm sure you have too. I mean,
yeah, I have, and I actually have been in my sickly reprieve from work and everything. I've been trying to make use of my time. I've been playing a lot of video games. And by the way, the whole thing when we were kids and like our parents, I'm pretty sure people still use it today. Well, if you're sick, you shouldn't be on video games. What do you mean, dude? I'm using my hands. I'm not physically up doing and going and bending and working. I'm sitting, twiddling my damn thumbs.
Quite literally.
Yes. Anyway, sorry.
But no, and I've had friends, like I said, alcoholics, stuff like that, and their parents, every time they get in trouble or whatever, bail them out, you can move back home, you can do this. And I understand once or twice, helping. Yeah. But sometimes, you're enabling is all you're doing.
Yep.
When you have your friend that,
keeps
keeps making bad choices and, chasing the red flag carnival and all that. And at some point, you got to be like, bro, quit.
I love how I've made the red flag carnival thing. Like, I'm like, oh, you just like going to carnival, and everybody I know says it now. It makes me feel so good. I'm sorry. It is such a nice thing to be like, oh, you have a thing for red flags. Be like, no, you have a thing for clowns, or like you have a thing for carnies.
Well, see, I'd seen it on a meme or whatever. It's like, stop chasing red flags. Look, I thought I was at the circus. Okay, just leave me alone.
It's a meme. I didn't know that. Anyway, I thought I made something cool, but I guess I didn't. But yeah,
you did your own take on it.
I did.
It's like a cover song.
Oh, well, that makes me feel less happy about it now.
Hey,
anyway,
some covers are better than the original.
There's a lot of enabling. I'm going to go back to this and ignore your shits. There's a lot of enabling from more than just like your friends and stuff, though, too. Like your family's really bad about. Like I know my family is. Particularly one Mother Yeti is really bad. Like I know Squatch and I have been trying to lose weight. Do you know how hard it is for Yeti to lose weight when Mother Yeti is like, hey, come over and have a big plate of spaghetti with garlic toast from when you were a kid? Squatch knows exactly what kind of garlic toast I'm talking about. It is not the best, but damn, does it slap hard. Does it not?
Oh, for sure.
Dude, slice of bread, toast it,
that
a little
ghetto
bit of butter,
garlic toast.
a little bit of butter on there, and a smidge of garlic pepper on garlic pepper. I can't.
Powder, salt.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Salt? Wouldn't do salt. That would be terrible.
Oh, I've had it with garlic salt. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not big on the saltiness.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would do it a pinch, but like, are you really that desperate for salty garlic bread?
I mean, to each their own, I guess.
We always go back to something to do with food. Anyway, but there's a lot
We're
of
large people.
Yes, we are, and I haven't eaten in like 72 plus hours until today, and a little bit last night. Anyway, there's too much enabling. There's too much walking on eggshells, and I'm trying to figure out how I can say this without sounding like a complete douchebag. I like the Tate brothers just like Squatch does. I don't like watch them and all their stuff and listen to like their podcasts like how Squatch does, but like I do agree with a crap ton of their thought process, the way they go about doing things. I'm not using the proper words for these because I can't think of them. It doesn't make sense to me that people are so quick to discard you in whatever manner. Whether it's, like you said, toss someone under the bus, break up with you, find a reason to cheat on you, whatever have you. It is crazy how the world is nowadays. And
yeah, man. We live in a time with disposable people.
I guess. And I think that's one thing, like, I'm not a big fan of. Like, I've been trying to find a lady Yeti for myself, and I've stopped with the apps, dude. Like, they don't. It's the thing that people like to say, it's toxic. But honestly, it is. Dude, people are fucking stupid. Like, and I 100%, I don't want 100%, I should say. I believe that one of the reasons why it is the way that it is nowadays is because these damn little things we have in our hands right now. The fucking phones.
Well, yeah. So
your phone, your laptop, your just technology in general, you no longer create solidified bonds. Does that make sense?
So I actually read somewhere it was a thing talking about like social media and all that, and it said something about how we've never been so connected yet so far apart from each other.
Yep.
Because, like, I mean, me sitting in here not speaking to each other, but I'm talking to my buddy in Idaho that I met years ago, like, or whatever, you know.
And that's something I would say is good, but, like, I'm referring to people who are, like, in the same damn house. Like, dude, like, for instance, if you and I were to live together, I'm like, hey, man, I'm not going to be in the other room, message you, like, hey, bro, what do you want for dinner tonight? It's on me. I'm going to come to you and be like, hey, bro,
the only time that is acceptable, I will say, is if, like, you and your homie are living together and, like, say you think he might have, like, a lady in the room or something. You know, he might just drop a text then.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
I mean, be like,
That's situational where that is considering your personal space and be like, hey, I'm going to just shoot you a text. When you see it because you may be doing something that I don't want to interrupt.
be like, if we were living together and like, I'm fixing to go get dinner. I don't know if he still has that girl over. Hey, what's up?
Dude, that'd be terrible.
Barge in. Some girl see my big self bargain. Ah!
Intruder! But, dude, I'm 100% agree with you. Like, it needs to come to an end or something needs to change because people...
Well, what's so with like
So bad.
our friends dating and all? Essentially, what these phones and everything have started is it's like shopping on Amazon for a mate or for a friend.
I was going to say it's window shopping.
You know how many times like you get on,
Literally windows because, Sorry, my bad.
I use Apple. It's fruit shopping.
What happened? Wasn't Apple the one like it was like the apple with the bite taken out of it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't trust that apple has a bite taken out of it.
It's called the discount supermarket apples.
Bro.
But no, like, so, I mean, and that's, again, like, something that's affected, like, the brotherhood bond between friends and stuff. Because, like,
Yep.
You're sitting here. I mean, used to, talk about how we become friends. Like, our mothers were like, go be friends with the neighbor boy.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay.
I remember I had moved in around the corner from where, like, when we were younger. I moved around the corner from where Squatch used to live. And I didn't even know what was going on. My mom's like, hey, it's your birthday. So I invited over a couple of the neighborhood kids, and it was Squatch and his sister. They showed up, and it was just like one of the weirdest things for me because it was like I don't know.
We didn't
these
know
people.
each other, and then we wound up like riding bikes around the neighborhood till like 9:00 at night.
Yeah, this was back when like the street light was your alarm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lights started to come on. You just hear from around the corner. Not.
You almost did.
Yeah.
You almost did.
Squatch! Yeti!
Yep. It was
And
usually
gotta
Squatch. Let's say it was Squatch to go home and then me to leave his house usually. Unless I was crashing at his house, which, dude, I'm not going to lie. I've been kind of wanting to do that again. Like,
But, like, nowadays, like, I mean, so as a musician, I've met a lot of my friends through Facebook and all that. And because, like, musicians, we get on here and we add every musician in the area. Like, this guy's got a bass guitar in his picture. Friend request, I might need a bass player. He might need a guitar player.
Yeah.
And then I've made some really good friends out of that. But then a lot of them, it's like it's situational. Like, we're cool until one of us quits the band or something. We're blocked. And that's dating, you're like used to, like, so the genuine, like, friendships I've made through music are, I'm at the music shop, I'm testing out a bass or a guitar or something, picking along, and there's some other guy like there. He's like, hey, man, that was really cool. What were you just playing? And we just get to chatting, exchange phone numbers. We're cool.
And that's one of the things I think is really important about, like, a lot of, like you definitely can see it in labor jobs. Mm-hmm. And that's where, like, I kind of met Rob. I'm not trying to plug him again, but what I'm saying is, Yeti here, I have known Rob now for like half a decade, give or take. One of the coolest dudes I've ever met. I met him at a job, and I don't know why. Don't know how, when, where, what time. I couldn't tell you none of those specific details. Maybe he could. But, like, we just became friends, man. Don't know why. And then became more than friends, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way or any kind of
It's a bromantic way, okay?
Yes. It's a bromance for sure. I got a nice little quadrilateral type thing. That's not the word I'm looking. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to be more intelligent because I haven't been able to use my vocabulary lately. Anyway, we met, became friends. He was my supervisor. We've been friends ever since. I'm very close to him. He's close to me. And it's the same thing with Squatch. Like, I don't see that happening very often with other, I'm just going to say it to help skip over all the other shit, genders. Because I mean, unless anyway, that's another topic for another time, I think, because I was like, oh, unless it's like, you know, you got two trans with trans, it's like, oh, I can relate, girlfriend. Like, I ain't a girl, I'm a man. Oh, I'm sorry, boyfriend. You see what I mean? Like, but like, I can see how like maybe those other communities out there have brotherhood, I guess you could say, for them. I don't know a tran hood for them.
Brosterhood.
Yeah, they have a trans hood.
Sorry, it's a Family Guy reference.
Trans hood sounds terrible. When I say trans hood, I'm thinking of like just like GTA San Andreas, like that little ghetto area where you're doing like the tutorial to go get like you're gonna go rob somebody, right? And like everybody there is just trans. My bad. And an intrusive thought just hit, and I let it fully take over. So sorry.
The ADHD is high today.
If we're not canceled already, I'm pretty sure this episode might do it. We say that every episode.
We're just going to keep pushing buttons.
Damn right. My thought process, man, though, is like, you don't get that. Like, I am, this is something else I'm kind of teetering on, is like, I don't like being friends with women because of how backstabby they are. Like we just stated earlier in the nursing home, like we work with nothing but women.
Yeah.
It's the same thing every day. Patricia did this, Patricia did that. I'm using Patricia because that's what's said. And Patricia is actually like one of the coolest fucking people there.
Or she comes up and they're like, oh my God, this bitch, hey girl.
Yeah. Like we'll be mid talking shit. By we, I mean they. And Patricia walks up. Either they go silent, or they immediately, like you were just saying, Squatch, oh, hey, sister, which I'm so tired of hearing that. One of our night nurses, that's her favorite thing to do, is like, oh, sister, how you doing? Sit. Yeah, I can't do the redneck accent very well for a female.
I spend a few hours a night listening to it.
I know. I used to work 12 hours with her, dude. It was horrendous. Sister, can you just... Here, I got it. Sister, can you just come over here and just take a look at this? Oh, sister, is that okay? Dude, I want to murder you. And I get, like, we, as dudes, we kind of like, hey, bro. All right, bro, calm down. Bro. Yes.
But we're really only like that with, like, our bros.
Yes. I'm not going to walk up to some random guy. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? I'm not going to be like, hey, bro. Like, you're not my bro. You're a man. I'm going to call you hey, man. Because I don't know your name yet.
Literally, I heard this somewhere, and I want to make T-shirts and sell them that say this, don't bro me unless you know me.
Kind of like that.
I actually told our boss that one time years ago. Like, I worked for him before, and he was like, hey, bro, and, like, kind of, like, little... pal punched me on the shoulder, and I was like, I just said, no.
Yeah, that's awkward as shit.
Like, you're my boss. You can't call me that.
Listen, you can't call your peer bro or anything like that. You have to call your bro or your brother because you guys have been through some shit together. That's why you're a bro.
Like, for any other guy friends, you know, hey, man, what's up? Hey, dude, what's up? You know. Maybe if I feel like you're a little bummed out, I might call you bro just to kind of establish a bond to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Which, it's another thing with brotherhood. You know, men, I'm a big believer in we got to be strong and all that, but we still have to be able to be there for each other because, I mean, as we've seen, you know, you and I both, whenever... we let that vulnerability out and like...
it immediately comes back to bite us on the ass 100-fold.
If we let it out to like a female companion, friend, whatever. But
it's immediately weaponized and used against us.
But like between you and me, I mean, we've literally sat in dark places at the same time together.
Yep.
Gone to the dark place for the other person, you know, pulled the other person out, like... you know,
I'm just imagining like the dark place is like I'm not saying Venom itself, like the symbiote, but like the gooey blackness. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's like the dark place for men.
Yeah,
like
well,
it's like the tar pits. You know, like it's just when you're there, it's almost impossible to get out. But then you got
It's
that
like
one
Spider-Man losing a symbiote. Like,
Yes.
and sometimes like your bro needs to be the loud noise that gets the symbiote away, you know. And because like I mean, like we talked about, you know, we've been vulnerable to either like a spouse, partner, or whatever. Immediately,
Yep.
and I'm not saying you can't be vulnerable with your spouse, but like there are things that for me as a dude that when they're kind of breaking me down, like I need to talk to my bro about it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like I feel like a good brother is going to be like, all right, well, gonna kind of give you a little bit of like grace to like, yeah, man, I know it sucks. Like, you know, I'm sorry you're going through this. Kind of be a little tender, but then when it's time, but all right, man, but we got to suck it up now. Like,
use myself as an excuse. Like whenever I went through that really bad breakup, which you know very well, I've talked about it before on the podcast. So if you've listened, you know about it as well. I went through a really bad breakup. I'm going to do a little background again. Went through a bad breakup. The first person I called wasn't my mother, wasn't my brother, my biological brother. It wasn't any of my other friends. I called Squatch. I was like, hey, man. I was like, this is what's going on. This mother effer, I don't know why I said mother effer. I've already dropped so many other ones. This guy shows up because the ex of mine was like, hey, my dad said he's going to come down, or the dad talked to me himself. He's like, I'm going to come down there and handle the situation. I was like, handle the situation? What the hell? What do you mean? I was like, I haven't done anything but had a bad breakup with your damn daughter.
And just told her to come get her stuff out.
Yes.
That's all you did.
After a month or so of me housing her shit, like any other storage facility, if you're not making your payments, your shit's getting sold. It's getting either tossed in the trash or something. So I was still being kind, like, hey, you need to come get your stuff. I'm going to put it on the back porch. This guy calls me. He's like, hey, you're pulling a power play on my daughter, and you're being a misogynistic, whatever the hell, gaslighting, power hungry, blah, 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 blah. I was like, dude, what the fuck ever. Told me he's going to come down and handle the situation. I was like, okay. So I called Squatch. I'm like, hey, man, this dude just threatened me. I might need some help. This guy shows up later when, you know, everything is conspiring. I probably should have mentioned that there was a police officer there to him because I see him like...
I showed up fucking strapped.
He showed up strapped. He's like, I'm here to fuck somebody up. Like, what the fuck? And I see his car pull in past the cop car, go down the road a little bit, and then come back around. So I was like, he probably just hit something. And that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, and I don't know why I freaked out. Cause once I like walked up, like the cop is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And he was just like, hey, man, like the cop walked up like, hey, bro, what's up?
I think that's another reason why the cop was so cool with me is because he's like, oh, you're a friend of my friend, which is where like the brotherhood line can kind of branch off here. Is like, he was like, oh, you're a friend with somebody I'm pretty good with. So I know you're not some fucking asshole who is actually doing the shit you're being accused of. So I was like, of course. Like, if I did, you, sir, would be here for a whole different reason, and we wouldn't be having a conversation right now. I'd have handcuffs and already in the jail. So, that's one of the things you don't see. I mean, I've never seen it. I was just trying to think. I've never seen it with females. I've never seen it with anybody else's, any other genders. I've never seen it
with females when you got those like that random crazy female that likes to fight.
That's just her being crazy. Like we
they'll
someone who
throw
likes
down
that
and fight for nothing or anything.
But that's not a genuine like I got your back type thing. Because like this is what I was getting to with this was like after they left with all the crap and I was just completely destroyed. Which you know that you witnessed it. You watched the. I'm not gonna say it because then it's like, oh yeah, he's weak, kinda compared to Squatch. Anyway, Squatch stayed after just to make sure that I was good. Like we chilled for like what 3-4 hours. It was like 2 in the morning by the time you left. He was making sure I was good, and we just sat there talking and him just like
even when y'all initially broke up, I had COVID, and you're like, hey. Yeah. Can I come over? I'm like, you gonna have to sit like across the room from me.
Yep.
Which,
And
even
she
that
got
was...
mad about that. I told you about that,
used
right?
against you.
Yes. She was like, you need to go. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go then. So I left, and I put myself at risk of catching a bad sickness with my bro, and it was used against me. Because when I came back home to come to my damn house, why are you here? I live here. I pay rent.
My name is on the lease.
Yeah, exactly. It's my damn name on the lease, not yours. I pay the fucking bills. I buy the groceries that you have consumed before you went off and did this bullshit. And you're going to fucking be like, why are you in your house? How dare you be in your house? I thought you were going to be gone for a couple weeks. No. This is my damn house. You go be gone for a couple weeks, which is exactly what happened. And ipso facto, we're here where we are. I don't see it very often with women, man. I don't see it with genders of other alphabet names. And I may be wrong because, I don't really associate too much with those kind of people. But this is probably me just being, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think hypocritical, but I feel like I'm being, I can't think of the word right now. Judgmental, I guess I'm going to say, because like I don't associate with them. I don't like, because a majority of the time those types of people will try to push their thoughts, their way of doing things, their beliefs or whatever onto you, and they won't stop until you conform to them. Not okay with that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, because I know it's happened to you.
I don't know if you follow like Dave Chappelle or not.
No.
So he did this bit, and he was talking about, because he met this trans comedian, and he was like kind of weirded out by it at first, but then they wound up being like friends.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying it can't happen,
but I'm getting at a point with this. He talked about how he's like, and this was before they added the IA plus
except after you,
all this other stuff. But he's like, you got the LGBTQ. He goes, essentially each letter, represents somebody different. He goes, and it's like they're all four in the same van going to the same place, but half of them don't get along. So it's like and I know that's not the case with every one of them, but it's like, like divided communities, divided countries, whatever. When there's division in a group,
they're weaker.
And I especially, feel like in that organization or social group, whatever you want to call it,
affiliation.
Like I feel like, the togetherness and all that would help them get where they want to go faster.
I'm so proud of myself. I just stopped an intrusive thought. When I said affiliation, I was going to say something else after it.
But like,
I'm sorry. I'm laughing. Yes. Can I help you? Your tail is hitting my chair.
It's, the whole...
Thank you.
Brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever. Like, that tight bond can solve so many issues. Like, I was watching one deal this guy was talking about in this interview. They were asking him, because, I like watching stuff about pro fighting and all that.
Yeah.
And they were like, well... does it benefit you to have like a bunch of friends in your circle that, do jujitsu and all that? And he's like, it's cool if they know it. He goes, but I would rather have, one buddy that doesn't know how to fight but isn't scared to.
Yeah. Because
he's my brother, than 3 buddies who know how to fight, but they're like, well, I don't know if we should do this.
Yeah.
Because
I know you're a fan of him. Doesn't Andrew Tate say that too? Like he has a little thing on that where
him and his brother do say a lot of things like that.
Like where they're like about to fight or something. He's like, I'd rather fight 4 or 5 people on my own, showing no fear, taking a couple of them out with me before I get gone, than have your buddy, your friend, your brother next to you back away and be like, no, I'm okay. Because then, like, all that shows is weakness.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you and me are, we don't go to I don't go to the bar, at least really at all anymore. But if we're at the bar having some drinks and, you're single, maybe you go flirt with some girl and turns out her boyfriend shows up and he's all, butthurt and stuff like that and wants to come up and throw down, he may bring 8 friends that could just beat the ever-loving hell out of us, but, like,
it's the fact we're standing and fighting together.
You're my bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the beating with you, and I'm going to make sure at least half of them don't walk away from it either.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... And as I get older, like, I think more and more on that, and, like, I look at acquaintances and friends I've made over the years that I used to think were like a brother, and then I look back and, like, no, if, like, things went down, we're out in public, things get sideways, this dude doesn't have my back.
Yep.
He's going to, like, turn tail and walk off or whatever. And I'm like...
There's a beauty behind brotherhood as well for those similar situations, but a little bit more not so much, is the... like, we've gone years without talking to each other. Was it because we didn't want to? We quite literally...
Life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, life is just... But we immediately, nothing ever happened. Like that time to even... Like, it was just back to being like how we were,
Yeah, well, I mean, like, so when I was with my ex-wife, probably the last year we were together, I don't think you and me talked at all. We lived a few blocks from each other, but I was, like, at one point I had a supervisor job working 7 days a week. You were working nights, had a new girlfriend. Just life got busy. The day after me and her split up, the first person I called was you.
And I fucking came over, let you come over, and we fucking...
Matter of fact, that's how your ex-girlfriend met me.
True,
Like, this guy just showing up, being all depressed every day.
Yeah, it was fucking funny, though, because, like, after I helped you through all that everything... Or that first night, I remember, like, I was sitting there talking to you about everything, all that kind of crap, and she was doing what the fuck she was doing. After you had left, she's like, what was that all about? I was like, his fucking wife is being a royal cunt. I just said some cancelable words. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the shoe fits, and if she listens...
I doubt she listens.
The shoe fits, girl. Anyway, you ain't no Cinderella. You're like the ugly... The ugly stepsisters, okay? You're I'll keep quiet because it's going to get worse. I keep on saying it. But she did Squatch dirty, man. Like, it was bad. And that can maybe be a topic later. But I helped Squatch. I was like, dude, if you need to, like, you can crash on the couch. Like, I got you. I was like, if you need to, I got a spare mattress. You can lay it out.
I mean, there was at one point I was so depressed and didn't want to be in my house that, it had been our house for 5 years.
Yep.
I was, like, so ready to be out of it. Like, I was willing to move into your spare bedroom with you and your girlfriend in the next room. Like, I
would have let you, too. Like, I don't care. Just recently, one of our listeners, you know who you are. When you hear this episode, you're going to know exactly what it is. He thought about calling me up this other night. Him and his girl were having some stuff. I was like, hey, man. I was like, I got you. Like, I told him this prior to this conversation, that the argument, whatever they had going on. I was like, man, if you ever need a place to go, like, let me know. Like, I got you. I got a couch. I got a hide-a-bed. I've got a spare room. I've got a spare queen-size.
I know which one you're talking about. And
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. It's like 2 a.m.
I don't think I have him on, like, Facebook or anything, but I know you're going to listen.
Yeah.
Reach out to both of us.
Yep.
If shit gets bad or you just want to talk, whatever.
Yep. And that's what, like I was saying earlier, I was playing video games, twiddling my thumbs. I've been trying to be that guy. Some of my friends I'm a little bit different with because they don't reciprocate the same way as some of the other ones, which that's another thing you need to take into consideration.
Thank God we don't have video. Sorry, guys. My dog just decided to jump up and stomp on me.
Stomp on Squatch, if you get what we're saying. I'm sorry, mid sentence, I didn't see his face. Just, oh. And the dog's like, I love you. Keep petting me as I'm squishing your manhood. I'm sorry, dude.
We are a pet-friendly podcast, even if the pets aren't friendly.
True that. I see you over there. But yeah, I was on Party Chow and Xbox playing games with some people, man. One of my friends, I don't know what he's got going on. I just want him to pull his head out of his ass, you know? And no matter what, like me and some of his other friends have told him, it's just not getting through. It's not. I don't know, maybe because he's in a state of pure unacceptance. Like, he's just like, I'm going to figure it out my way. Like, he's trying to do the whole, like, against the grain shit. You can't do that on everything. You can do it on some stuff, but you can't do it on everything.
Well, the thing with going against the grain in anything is it's hard.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely hard. And that's the thing, like, I keep telling him, like, dude, you were going to church, like, you found God and everything. I was like, was that all just a false face, so to speak, so you could, like, network your shit? Like, some of my friends and I have talked about it and everything. Like, we're just trying to figure a way how we can help the guy. And if he's listening, dude, pull your head out of your ass. That's all I'm going to say. You wonder why we're such dicks to you? Because you don't reciprocate the friendliness. You like shit the hard way. That's fine. But don't come bitching to us when it's too damn hard for you. And it's the same thing, like, with me. I'm learning. Like I said, Squatch and Rob have told me several things that I'm like, yeah, I hear you, man. I got your advice. I understand.
Learning you are, young Padawan. Learning you are.
Yes. Fucking the biggest damn Yoda I ever seen.
Yoda.
Practically more like Shrek. But, dude, like, can you not get your dripping mouth on my hand? Dog is being very interactive now because
he's not talking about me this time.
What the fuck? You just had to sneak a sexual joke in you.
Of course. Of course.
Oh my god.
See how many times we can make you crack up and break face.
Dude, I've been locked in my house for like the past 3-4 days, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I needed this. I'm feeling better
I ain't
today.
been on the outside, boss. I don't know how to live out here.
Pretty much. I forgot my train of thought, what I was even saying. Anyway, we'll move on.
Friend
I can't
pulling
remember.
his head out of his ass.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was like, dude, if you're going to church and everything, I'm really proud of you. Like, I'm not real religious, but I know some people who do need some guidance will obviously go to find religion. Religion usually is a nice form of guidance. The spiritual presence you may or may not feel, I would assume you feel if you're going to church regularly, you're obviously feeling something. But he kind of just stopped. And I thought about talking to him today about it because I've been pondering it all night on how I can talk to him about it, man. So I think today, when we're done recording all this, I'm going to go and, like, maybe call him, but hey, let's play a game together and let's bullshit. I'm going to try to, like, you need to start going back to church. Because when he was going to church, he was doing better.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people, I have a lot of experience with church and stuff, and you know, for those of you that don't know, despite my occasional foul mouth and horrible humor, I was a youth director at a church. I've done worship music at churches and all that.
To be fair, where in the Bible does it say in the Bible that you cannot swear?
No, it's just socially frowned
Don't take the Lord's
upon.
name in vain.
That's pretty much the only one.
Yes, right.
But anyways, what I was getting at is a lot of people, I've seen this over the years, and I've done this over the years at times. They go to church to find religion, and that's where, like, so we meet a lot of people, and you and me have kind of had this discussion and stuff before, where, like, people be like, "Oh, well, I used to be a Christian." And I'm like, "No, you went to church." Like,
Yeah. Just because you go to church does not make you Christian.
being a Christian is about, like, finding a relationship with Christ and the gospel and all that.
I'm not religious, and even I know that.
But, like, I feel like that's where
I think he needs guidance, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Which,
is like, I really think he might have been using it as a facade to like. I'm not saying he was. I'm saying that he might have been. That might have been. I don't know.
I mean, tell your buddy, like, if he wanting somebody to talk spiritual guidance with, you've got
right now he's going through some stuff, and I don't know how to really go about talking to him about it because I know he needs some kind of guidance that I can't provide personally, and I know that maybe if I can at least convince him to go to church again, excuse me, that it will be okay for him because I think that's all it is like he's built this life, which, cool, you did that, but don't try to tear it down. Try to take what you have and make it better.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you really can do. Whether that be, it's going to be tough. It's going to be trying, and I really think that that's what he's really missing right now, and I'm, like I said, this is kind of enlightening me talking about it to you because I know you are very religious and all that good jazz. I will direct him toward this podcast, maybe see, hey man, if you just listen to his bullshit, you might get something from it. And that's what we ultimately do while doing this, is we hope that all you listeners out there, if we do one thing right with this show, you guys find some kind of relief from your monotony, from your stress, your depression, your whatever have you. Again, I will state, because I love the term, I will gladly let you come to us and be your lightning rod. You need to get something out, let us know. Let me know. That's just one of those things. Like, and the whole let me know is like, those of you out there who are listening and know me personally, reach out. Stop being afraid, because I promise you it's better once you finally get those thoughts out of your head and you can have somebody help you find that guidance you're needing.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I know if any of our listeners ever like want to discuss like spiritual advice and whatnot, and like your buddy as well, like, I mean, feel free to,
hell, I've come to you, Squatch, about like we had dinner over. This has been let it be known when I say the other day, I mean between my birth and now. Okay,
it's a Southern the other day.
Yes. So like the other day, Squatch and I were having dinner. And like I was like, hey man, I was like, let's go get some grub. I want to talk to you about some stuff. And like on the drive there, we were talking about religion because I had a voice like wake me up one night. It was back in January, like early beginning of the year. Don't know what it was, just out of nowhere. Like Squatch knows I am not a religious person. I was awoken at like 2-3 a.m. by a voice saying, "This is going to be your year."
Told you what that was, but
yes, I'm getting like goose pimples right now. You're getting chicken skin. Look at all that. Anyway, I think more people need to have that, and I think a lot of that. If you don't have the religious and spiritual guidance, for me, my guidance are my peers. My peers, I have relatively chosen wisely. Obviously, the ones I've been trying to choose recently have not been good. Trying not to do that, so. I'm going to just stick to my little guidance group, my little friend group, my little brotherhood I have, because they obviously know me. They know I'm not some pretentious prick or whatever other kind of bad mouth word you can probably think to call me. That's just, I have the male version of RBF. So most people don't understand that, but Squatch over here chuckle fucking does. I rely on my brothers, not necessarily like rely wholeheartedly, but I go to them.
You have to be your brother's keeper.
Yes. I go to them for my issues and see if I'm not looking for sympathy or empathy or any kind of ease. I'm not looking to ask for a loan. I'm not looking to do nothing. I just need, hey, bro, I need you to help me on something. Just give me some advice on what you would do, what you think I should do, however, vice versa, as this goes. Like, that's what I look for when I talk to my peers.
It's like we talk about the difference in, like, say when your girlfriend, spouse, wife complains about her day to you, she just really wants to complain about our day.
Yep.
We're men, we don't want to complain.
But
so if we go to our bro with our problem, it's because we're like, hey man, like, help me fix this.
Yep. And that's something a lot of people don't understand as well, is that most men are fixers. Even to their brother or friends, like, we still try to find ways to help our loved ones, however means possible. So, like, I know if I go to the guys who I know have my back, 100% best interest for me as well as them. By the as them part is the fact that I am becoming better. That benefits them because now, for one, they no longer have to deal with that BS that I was just babbling on about. For two, they now know I am working on becoming better, or I have become better. And then for three, they're your brothers. Like, that's what they're there for. Like you just said, they're your keepers. They help you stay on track. They help you, get through the muck, get through the tar pit, so to speak. And that's really appreciative. And again, I don't see that much with women. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm saying I have personally never seen it.
It's very few and far between. I know they
made a movie, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. That's a movie. It's just, unless it states based on a true story, I'm not going to believe
those
it.
are fake.
True.
But, so, best example I have is...
Excuse me.
Growing up, I saw my mother make numerous friends with people, and they become, best friends for a while, and then just kind of drift apart, get a different job, never speak again, whatever. Whereas...
I just had a fucking epiphany, and I'm sorry for cutting in again, but the guy we were talking about who, would come, I'd be, hey, man, come crash at my place.
Yeah.
I just had my mind fucking blown. I just thought of this. The reason why she's the way that she is with him, and you're listening, I know you are, she's like that with you because she doesn't have that with anyone else. That's why she's so up your ass. Because, for one, you're all she really has, to a degree. You're the love of her life, I would assume, because y'all been through ups and downs, and you're still with each other. She's still all about you. You know what that sounds like to me? She's trying, I don't mean literally be a bro, but she and you, that's y'all's little circle.
Yeah, that does happen with a lot of
couples and stuff. Yes,
antisocial couples.
Yep.
And I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship
I don't
well
either, but that's from my outside perspective. Because I mentioned to him, I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "Do you ever have I asked hey, when you get off work, I was like, do you want to play some games? Let's just chill and kind of BS." And he was like, "Yeah, if she lets me." I'm like, "Bro, you need to have some dude time." But it makes sense now. I'm not, and again, I know they're probably going to be listening. I'm not talking shit, I promise. It just makes sense to me now that you two have a dynamic where she and you rely on each other the same way that I have my friends Squatch and Rob. Those are my people.
What I think, and I've been in relationships, especially when life gets in the way, and then the only person you wind up spending time with, other than your children or whatever, is your significant other.
Yep.
And so, it's really, don't get me wrong, it is great to be best friends with your spouse. Awesome, that's how it should be.
Yep.
But when you get through those antisocial periods and you become reliant on each other for that friendship as well. And so then it's it's all cool, and then one of you starts hanging out with a friend again, and it's almost like a jealousy.
It is, and that's what I'm currently dealing with. I'm not, when I say dealing with, I don't mean it's a fucking pain in the ass. Having to deal with this issue. No, it's bro, I understand now. I totally get it. That's what's going on. So cool. Why don't we all just hang out together then?
Yeah.
I don't mind if she hangs around or she wants to chirp in on the party chat or something. You're over a game and she could be bullshitting with me. That's cool. I'm completely content with that because, dude, I feel like that is one thing that the world needs to have is more of that camaraderie, more of that brotherhood. Like we were just talking about with the whole Tate brothers. Not many people would do that for one another.
And my thing is even you and me have both been in relationships where we didn't like the other person's girlfriend or whatever,
yes.
wife, whatever.
Yeah, that was evident with me making jokes about how she's the ugly stepsister.
But you know, even then, like, I mean, you start dating somebody tomorrow that I can't fucking stand.
That's happened numerous times already.
At that point, though, y'all are together. Like, she is like in like sister code or sister area for me. Like,
to a degree, yeah, I understand.
Like,
that.
maybe not like that close, but like,
there's a degree of acceptance of
like,
the nonsense that may come or not. Yeah.
Well, because like that's your girl and you're my bro. Like, I'm gonna choose to accept her and hopefully see what you see in her.
I was gonna be like, you. I'm not gonna say it because it's very dirty. You accept her because I've rubbed off on her. So normally, like, I don't mean like that. I mean like. I obviously see something.
I mean, I'm hoping if you got her, you're not doing a whole lot of rubbing off. You went there, so I
know.
to go.
That's why I was like, I'm not trying to say it like that, but I know it was going to be taken that way.
How is it taken?
Shut up! I knew you were going to do it again. You fuck. Oh my god! And it's fine. And like, obviously, I've done it with you too because like I've never cared too much for your ex. Like, even
most
when
of my friends say that.
Even when I lived next door to her. That's right. That was a thing. Topic. That'll be a secret story time. Like, we should do that. We'll talk about that later. ADHD.
Secret story time on Facebook Live or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or something. I don't know. But I still would come over as best I could and hang out or whatever. Like, I remember I brought my girl over and like we all hung out, we drank, we ate a little bit of food. And I remember your girl getting so pissed because at the time the girl I was with brought me my plate of food and she also brought Squatch food and she got, I honestly think it was a bit of jealousy to a degree.
Well, so here's how like it went. Like the whole interaction was like, you know, your girl brought you food and then she was like, oh, you know what is he like? And
she just
made
make
me
you
a plate.
Yeah.
And my ex was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yep.
She's like, oh, I'm just, bringing him a plate. And she's like, no, were you going to make his plate? And she's like, well, I wasn't going to do that either, but
yeah, I remember that, dude. I was like, damn. I was like, I'm kind of got this special treatment right now. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of irked me. I was like, why don't you bring your dude some food? I'm like, what's wrong with that?
I mean, personally, I don't care if a girl does that. Like,
to me,
it is adorable. I love it.
For me, it is a level of love. It's a love language of like, hey, I made food. I have brought you food.
Yeah, it's like acts of service or whatever. That is like one of the love languages.
Yes. And like, I deeply appreciate it because like, yes, I'm very capable of getting up and making my own food. But like the fact that you went out of your way to feed me first says a lot.
Yeah.
So like that's the only thing I can say about my ex now on that ex. I have a lot of exes, way more than Squatch. Not proud of it. That was like one of the very few things I was really happy that she would do is like she would cook, she would clean to a degree, but when she would cook, she'd bring me food. It's such a good feeling to a man that his partner brings them food. I don't know why, but it is one of the best fucking feelings in the world.
Well, I know in that scenario, it's like, say you're working for a construction crew and, you got single Jim over here with like a bologna sandwich, a Dr. Pepper, and a little thing of Pringles for lunch. Meanwhile, you got Bob over here whose wife sent him with like
a 5-course meal.
A thing of soup, couple sandwiches, a deal of sweet tea, Gatorade,
stuff to stay hydrated. There's some little dessert to keep you going. There's
or like a little homemade meal or whatever.
Even leftovers, man. Like, and a lot of people nowadays too. I don't like is, and this is something. Hold on, let me go back to this real quick. The reason why I like that is because I feel like they, to a degree, see you as like what I was just saying with our mutual friend and his lady. You're their circle. They're going to take care of you. So that's why I think it makes me feel so much better whenever it makes me feel amazing when that happens. Like bro, like you can't tell me when you get food delivered to you, it don't freaking feel good.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And on the job sites and stuff, because like I've had this happen before too. If you become friends with a coworker and then like they have a bigger bag of fucking food the next day, that dude's wife not only thought about him, but also thought about his friend.
yeah.
That's awesome. Not many people do that shit anymore either.
No, I mean like,
And it
So,
all,
like-
and the reason I was saying that is because it all goes back to brotherhood. Like you were saying with the whole lady thing, like they're an extension of you, so to speak. Like, so that's what he was saying, like the whole, like, oh, I need to see what he sees in her. Maybe there's something I'm missing.
well, I
It's
mean,
great.
it's like, so the other day, like, my girl, who's only met you one time ever, she like made a bunch of like this jalapeno cream cheese dip, which Yeti can't have jalapeno.
Well,
And,
I can, but it has to, I can have the jalapeno meat if cleaned properly, washed and all that good jazz. I can't eat the seeds, the capsaicin oil in peppers I am allergic to.
But like
Sorry.
I said, she's met him one time ever, and she made a bunch of it, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to take some to your buddy?" Like,
I would have loved that. Did you tell her that
yeah,
I
I
was very
told her,
appreciative of
I
that.
was like, he would love it. And I told her last night when we were talking about it, I was like, no, he said he would love it. He's like, just like maybe next time if you like clean the jalapenos, which I was like, next time we make it, like I'll clean the jalapenos and stuff.
do a
and-
little bowl for me?
But because like that's my bro, she's just like, oh, does he want some?
Yeah, it was like, well, that one time you went to go see her, like you were hanging out for like I think the whole weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I had been kind of down, and you're like, hey man, like what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm fucking just sitting here playing video games. Cause that's what I do, right? I don't. This town is small. I don't really want to spend the gas money to go out and try to do things and all that jazz. I'll just stay home and play video games. This dude, he's like, hey man, he's like, I'm heading back from my girl's house. You hungry? And I was like, yeah, I'm hungry. He's like, cool, I'm gonna bring you something. Didn't tell me what. Shows up at my house with fucking sushi. So I was like, bro, no shot. You just brought me one of my fucking favorite things to eat. And he's like, yeah, here you go, bro. Like, we had sushi, we bullshitted. And I was like, bro, that's the kind of stuff that goes so much further than you realize. And
Sometimes it just feels good that like somebody is looking out for you.
it's the consideration. It's that little consideration that, hey, maybe my friend needs a drink, you know?
Yeah.
That type of thing. And I don't mean drink as in like a beer or something. I mean that's nice too. Like,
I mean, it's like there's days when I go to the gas station before work or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'll grab a couple extra Red Bulls and just be like, "Hey, man, you're kind of lagging today. You want one?"
yep, yeah, you've done that a couple. You're like, and
We've
you
done that for
also-
each other.
You'll also be like, fucking sip on it, because I know you got heart issues, you dumb bastard. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I won't chug it. But that's one of the things, man. Like I'm saying, like it makes so much sense to me that people do that, because it needs to be a thing more. And the people who do it, much appreciative. I guarantee you, the loved ones, your friends, whoever that you do it for, 100% got your back. You want to know why? Because you care about them, and you cared about them enough to be like, hey, I got you a fucking coffee. You know, like a little thing goes a long way on somebody's day.
yeah,
So-
I mean, caring for a loved one, your brother, whatever. I feel like as much as you have to be able to be the stern one to go, hey, you're screwing up, stop this. You also can just be like the
It's-
considerate one too. Like,
But say it's finding that.
you got to have the yin and yang.
But say it's finding that
Do it.
balance between the two, and some people just don't have that. Like, oh, that's just me. But
Like, there are times I know, like, you or one of my other friends will be like dealing with something, and I'll be like, I really need to say this, but I can tell today's not the day.
oh, yeah, that's like what happened last week. Last week we were going to record him, and just stuff was going wrong. Like I was going like I said at the beginning.
Everything.
Aberdeen. Sorry, I got that. Have you seen that stupid little dog thing? It's like hop, hop, hop,
I guess so.
I fucking got that stuck in my head. I don't know why. I'll try to find it later and send it to you. It's stupid. I've also got the, oh, look, a strawberry. Oh, look, a strawberry. Have you seen those? It's so amazing. Anything to do with animals, Yeti fucking loves. It's the reason being is it's genuine. You cannot like mess up an animal. As in like when you're recording an animal doing something stupid, that was genuine. That was not staged. That wasn't scripted. You know what I mean? That's why it's so much better. Most of it, not all of it. A lot of it is staged. But like, I love that voiceover of like, oh, look, a strawberry. And then like it cuts to the dog or whatever, has a little bit derpier face. Oh, look, a strawberry. And then goes to like an even more retarded looking face. I just said the R word. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say the R word.
Do not wish to R-word anymore.
We're going to get canceled. Stop it. Anyway, this thing is like vibrating because I just hit the table. The derpy, it's what it did. I was like, stop. The derpiness gets more hilarious. Their face is more derpy. And it's like, it's amazing. It's stupid to me. I love it. It's awesome. But it's those little things, man, that I feel like bring people together. And sometimes it's just being there, even in silence for people, man. And I think that's one of the things that the brotherhoods, whoever's it is, do the best. We may be sitting in the same room playing a game, watching a movie, BSing about something else, but the fact we're within your presence, even if we're just sitting there in utter silence, that's what's needed.
Utter silence or completely disrupting the whole Deadpool movie.
I was excited to see that film.
Everyone was. There was only like 8 people in the theater with us, and
that
was the loudest theater experience I've ever been in.
Like that girl who ran up on me and then got scared and ran back the other way. So, story time. Squatch and I went to go see the new Deadpool Wolverine film. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Fucking phenomenal film. We can gladly talk about it because we love the Marvel DC universes. With that being the most relevant thing right now, would love to speak about Marvel one day. Maybe next time we record, that'll be our episode. It's gonna be our episode, I'm telling you right now. I want to talk about Marvel because I have some information I need to disperse. Anyway, continuing. Girl, this family comes running. Like we're sitting there watching our phones or whatever, BSing. We're like right beneath the projector type area, like right. So it's really dark right there. This girl and her mom are like talking. She's like, I'm gonna race you up the stairs. She's like, I bet you won't. And like they start running up the stairs to get to the top of the auditorium. And she runs straight to me, sees me, and goes, oh crap! And then runs the opposite way, embarrassed because she's made a fool of herself. I'm laughing. Her family's laughing. And she's like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I was like, damn, I know I'm ugly, but shit. Her mother lost her mind. It was just a great moment. Like, it was so wholesome.
She was about to make a name for herself.
About to make a name for myself up in here.
That is, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it or seen
It's
all the spoilers.
Dude. I mean,
Channing Tatum's Gambit was
is
perfect. Like, chef's kiss.
all they needed to do was fucking put some eye contacts in to make them black and red. Perfect then. Maybe if he gets his own movie, we're already doing the Marvel thing and I'm getting chicken skin again. Maybe if he does get his own film, they could do that. Where like his powers kind of come more into effect and then his eyes change color. That, if you're listening to this, you need to take that idea for yourself, please, and make that into a movie.
Marvel, listen to your fans.
Yes. That would be amazing.
DC should try it too.
DC needs to do it. No need to
like
try.
Like the Batman Beyond film we didn't get.
Oh my god. That we got this. That's a topic for another time. That's like a 4-hour conversation with that one. Okay. That wholesomeness though is so amazing, and I don't know, like between Brotherhood and like a lot of the Brotherhood stuff, as much as we like we'll berate with each other. I fucked that word up. as much as we give each other shit for everything we do, it's all in the best interest for one another. I tried to say berate and didn't say that. Yeah, you can definitely tell that this we just same shit, different day for us. Yeah, I'm being more cursive.
ADHD is on high, and I refuse to take meds because that stuff is stupid.
Speaking of meds, I went to the doctors and everything because I've been sick, like bad sick. I'm not running fever, so you shouldn't be able to catch this. I'm pretty much good. Anyway, if Squatch comes down sick, it's my fault. Was at the doctor's office, like, oh, are you still taking da-da-da-da-da? And I was like, no, I don't take blood pressure meds. Well, you probably should. Why? Well, your blood pressure's elevated. Well, it's elevated because I'm in the doctor's office. I do have high blood pressure, but that's irrelevant. They don't need to know that. They did need to know that. It's a doctor's office. I told them that I don't take it.
Also, like, medical anxiety is a thing.
True, and I said that. I was like, well, I have some anxiety going because I don't know what's going on with me and all that good jazz. They proceeded to keep trying to shove blood pressure pills, for one, into my wallet, and for two, my stomach. And I was like, I'm not taking blood pressure meds. I take aspirin. Like, I'm good. Aspirin is not, I'm not saying anybody listening to take aspirin to cure your blood pressure if you have that. Don't take anything I'm saying as medical advice on what you should do. I am saying that's what I do because I don't like doctors. You do your own thing. I do not condone. I am trademarking this right, and I'm not trademarking. I'm doing the, what's the word I'm looking for?
Disclosure.
Thank you. Disclosing that anything I say, you are to hear and not do. Okay? Anyway, the nurse was like, yeah, you probably should take that. And when the doctor came to check me out and everything, she's like, yeah, you need to take that. I was like, no, I'm not taking it. I know I'm going off on a little ADHD trail here. That's one of the things I hate about, like, the medical now. Medical stuff is so stupid nowadays because it's either they make you wait until the last minute, and if you try to cut it off ahead of time, nothing happens. It makes no sense. Kind of up there with, like, the whole, like, brotherhood stuff. Like, just doesn't make sense. So, like, the brotherhood makes sense. I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to...
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but they don't. They might at this
point.
point.
They do.
I feel like they do at this point.
After a few episodes, I feel like they can follow our ADHD tangents.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, that guy did reach out to me. He's like, dude, I fucking love listening to you guys. He's like, it's like I'm listening to you guys back at work and everything. He's like, I love this. He's like, I'm sitting here at work with y'all in my ear. We have a couple people who do that, by the way.
Which, by the way, like, I know I sent you a list the other day. Like,
has it increased?
We have no new places yet, but I mean, I expected us to get like some local people that know both of us listening. Yeah. We have listeners. One of our actual top places of plays and downloads is actually in Belgium.
I thought it was Denmark, but yeah, that makes sense.
There's Belgium, and then we have listeners.
I still think it's because they think we're cryptid talkers.
Okay, but I feel like after the first couple episodes, like,
these guys don't talk about cryptids. Yeah.
Yet.
Yeti.
But like, we have listeners in I believe it's Shanghai, Costa Rica.
Did you say Japan one time?
Not Japan.
Not yet.
I want that.
That would be amazing.
I want them to request us to come to Japan and film in front of a live audience or record in front of a live audience.
They would need some ADHD interpreters. How would that happen? Sorry, intrusive thought, ADHD happening. How does a Japanese interpreter work? Like, how do you kanji? I guess they don't. They just hold signs up? Like,
well, I figure they would just talk. They're interpreting. They're not doing like.
No. Sorry, I'm like a sign language over in Japan. Like, you can't sign. Can you? Can you sign language?
They have sign language too. They have deaf people there.
I know. I'm curious. How would they be able to sign language kanji? You just draw it in the air.
I mean, that's a really good question.
It's got you thinking, right?
Just
Because kanji is like a form of art to a degree. Like, it takes skill to write that shit
Just
properly.
imagining like us talking about something, trying to be serious, and the interpreter over there looking like he's doing some like Naruto.
Fucking Naruto, goddamn Sharingan Jujitsu over there. I'm like, bruh, we're about to have some shadow clones up in you. I'll make a name for myself today.
Naruto
Definitely.
Gambit crossover.
That would be fucking hilarious. Sign me up for the breeding program right away. Anyway, but yeah,
we got listeners like all over the world. I believe we have some listeners in Germany and stuff like that.
I wouldn't mind going there. Go back to our roots.
I'm sorry.
Well, you're bald. You can't say things like
That's
that.
why I said it.
Oh, they fit in. They're our brothers from America. It's okay.
Like the meme, it's like why Germans can't do lateral raises in the gym.
Yes, I saw that. As soon as he raises his arm up, hold high.
Nope. Like it starts doing the other fucking song. Disclaimer, I am not a Nazi, nor is Squash. We are not of the Aryan brotherhood.
Nope, my racial pool is a little too multicolored for that.
I'm going to say, I'm okay with it. Wait, what? You...
See, I've never told you, like, I'm, like, crazy, like, mixed race. Like, I'm white as can be, but, like...
Oh, no, sorry. I was thinking about something else. My bad. We'll talk about it later. Apparently, Squatch is more promiscuous than I thought.
You're just now realizing that?
I mean, I kind of figured you just had, like, a darker bedroom side for, like, the person you were with. I didn't... Anyway.
No, the person I'm with, she's, like, half Texan, half British. She's extra white.
Yeah, she's about as white as they become. Still don't understand that because I actually just saw a thing that Britain, or excuse me, the UK, England, like, they're really upset right now with their heat wave. Just a FYI.
75 degrees.
Yes. And a British guy came on there and he's like, us Brits don't have air conditioners because Americans, until you've experienced an American summer, you can't complain that your house is 75 degrees
I've
Fahrenheit.
seen that. He's like, oh, they set their ACs on what we call a heat wave.
Yes.
And
I'm like, shit, if you only knew, my fucking room right now is 85 degrees. Like,
and we're like, that's tolerable somewhat.
yeah, with a fan. Somewhat tolerable with a fan on us, with the AC going in a completely pitched out dark room.
Like,
It's still hot.
Yesterday, I think it was, maybe today, I don't remember. Here a lot here lately. Like, I walked outside to get something out of the car, and I'm like, bro, it is disrespectful out here.
You could probably, I'm not saying you, I mean, actually, you probably could. It might take it some time. Just get you a nice flat rock, put it out there in that sun all day. You'll be able to cook a damn steak on it by the end of the
I've
night.
actually thought about setting a pan out in the sun,
cracking an
butter
egg
in there. Once that butter melts down, just drop an egg, maybe.
Dude, I'm serious. It's hot. And I know in some states here in the U.S., it's much hotter than here. And that's saying something because we in Texas. I know Arizona. Yeah. Arizona for sure, I know, is hotter than here.
Desert heat.
I would. You're going to laugh at me because I don't know geology very well. Geology. Is it geology?
Geography.
Geography. I also don't know English well either. I don't know geography well. I don't know why I said geology because that's... Anyway. Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. What is the fourth fucking state? That the four corner thing, right? Isn't that over there?
Yeah,
You're gonna have to Google it too. Yeah, you go ahead and Google it.
I want to say I'm not gonna say what I think because it's probably wrong.
I just is it be ashamed of me. I don't know all 50 states anymore. I forgot Delaware was a thing. I know where I'm gonna go on vacation.
Okay, I was gonna say
Delaware,
Utah, Arizona,
I thought it was
Colorado, and New
Utah.
Mexico. I wanted to say Utah, but I'm like, no, maybe that's further north. But
so it's not what I said at all then. Because I was like Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona. It's not that. The four corners is Utah, Colorado. That shit's...
yeah. Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico. So you were kind of right.
Kinda, but also at the same time vastly wrong. Sorry, my mom just tried calling me. I'm going to send her a message real quick.
You're good.
She's probably just checking on me because she's been concerned.
Are you still having your tummy issues?
No, my mom doesn't do that.
But
Mom, chill. I will call you after I'm done. I'm sorry.
with brotherhood, you got to respect your moms. They're going to love you even when you need them to chill.
Speaking of brotherhoods, the other I saw his mom at the store. Hadn't seen her since like 10 years or so ago, maybe a little less. Dude completely took me by surprise. I was like, you look nothing like how you used to.
I think she tried adding me on Facebook, and I was like, who is that?
Yeah, it's his mom. Like, I'm glad she's doing okay for the most part, but like, damn.
Yeah.
So, I don't mean to talk crap about your mom. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying, it's just, damn. Like, my mom's the same way. Damn. Speaking of which, does your mom listen to us? Because my mom does.
Yeah, she does.
My mom said the same shit your mom did.
She's usually give her a warning, like if the episode's too bad, I'm like,
I don't.
Don't listen. Don't listen.
My mother, Mother Yeti, was like, yeah, it sounds like you two just in your room as kids again, but just adult. I was like, okay.
We just need Legos and Need for Speed.
And dinosaur toys. And Beyblades and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, dude, I saw that thing you posted on Facebook about feeling old yet.
Yeah.
Kind of right there with you. When you go to AARP, let me know. I'm going to tag along with you.
Yeah, you got to ride with me. Your car is not drivable in the summer.
When it comes winter, it's going to be damn good, though.
Yeah.
Our winter is going to be like 75 degrees.
I can almost wear long pants. Who am I kidding? It's snowing and I'm still wearing shorts. Like,
bro, that's something too.
I was sitting by the fireplace this winter, straight up. Fire going in basketball shorts and flip flops with a hoodie on.
Speaking of that, dude, I need to try to find something else aside from my central heating and unit for heat this summer or
winter.
Yes. Although I will say my water heater being out because I don't have hot water, right? If I can get a shower before 6 p.m., the water's hot because my water heater's in the attic. You know this. You've helped me work on it. It's up in the attic, so like the water is still it's not good for doing dishes or laundry, but it's hot enough for me to take a decent shower. So this is one of the things about brotherhood as well is like I can call Squatch up and hey man, my fucking car is dead. Can you come help me work on it? Yeah, man, I'll be there as soon as I can.
Or, hey, I know we just worked a 12-hour day, but can you climb up in the attic and check the hot water heater?
Yep, that happened too. That's the thing.
Or, hey, my car's about to get washed away. You want to come save me?
Yep, that as well. I still can't believe you fucking did that. I gave you all the warnings, which this is, you get on to me about not listening, well, guess what? You getting some shit now too. You don't listen very well either. I was like, dude, it's flooding out there, man. Like, you sure? Yeah, I'll be home. I'll be all right. 10 minutes later, can you come get me? I'm about to die.
You know what? I've been saying for how long, though, I wanted to get rid of that car.
True.
I found a way to get rid of it.
I was going to say what's even more appropriate with that is I think your God helped you with that because you got right there by the church and it's like, yeah, no.
Ironically, by like the one church I don't really like.
I know, but still.
We're not going here. Stop.
Pretty much.
Like I saw it was getting bad. I'm like, if I can make it across and just pull up into their parking lot.
No, that's one of the worst spots in town. But ironically enough, I actually thought about the other day, I was like, this guy is religious as shit. So to a degree, God kind of stopped him. If you really think about it.
Yeah.
Like he kind of stopped. And by the way, you're like, oh, I'm by the church. I know it was a bit of like situation going on. But when you gave me like, I'm up here by the church, I thought it was like the church over here, like close to my house. It's like, okay, like I can swing by and grab them and it'd be all right. I didn't know it was the church near our job. We have like what?
Yeah.
We have like 3 churches in town, don't we?
God, no, we've got 1, 2, 3.
There's 5?
5 that I can think of. 6 if we count the shutdown one across from work.
That was the third one I was thinking of. I thought we only had the
No.
2. Like I thought we had the one there
so
by
we
the
got-
convenience store, the one over by the
We got the Methodist, we got 2
Storage
Baptist
containers.
churches, Church of Christ, Cowboy Church, and then the old Pentecostal church.
holy hell, man. I thought we just had 3 churches.
Town's got 200 people in it, and
I was gonna say we have like what, maybe 1,000 people in this town.
yeah, something like that.
Maybe 1,000 people in this town, and we have like 780 churches. Everybody's starting a church.
Yeah, there used to be like 3 Cowboy churches in this town,
That's crazy.
but
What church do you go to? I go to the Cowboy Church. I know, but which one? The one down the road. Which one?
do you go the one at Jim's house or Darlene's house?
I'm getting there. I'm going to the one at Jim's house. Oh, okay. We'll meet you
Oh,
there.
you're one of them.
You
Mhm.
you don't go to Darlene. Little. Jim and Darlene live right side by side. Keep your service down. You're interrupting mine. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of religion.
I
or
told
God.
you this Wednesday is our street dance. Next Wednesday is yours.
Yep.
And keep your dadgum hoodlums out of my driveway.
Oh, goddamn, Jim went and got a snow cone vendor for his event. We got one up him. Got to get a
All
hot
right,
dog vendor.
Get the bounce house.
You know? It was terrible. I can totally see that happening in this town.
Totally.
Oh,
I remember when we used to live around the corner from each other, we had, my ex-wife's family down the road had a Cowboy church in their garage.
I used to go to it.
And I remember, like, we were riding bikes in the road and, like, what's going on down there?
Yep.
They're having a street dance, literally in the middle of the street.
Just dancing to religious music in the middle of the damn street.
Like, they'd have a random guy come, like, play guitar, sing, and preach, and, like, people were just dancing in the driveway. And I'm like,
Yep.
this is a house.
Yep. I mean, it worked for him.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like I said, I'm not religious, but if I'm not mistaken, it's not about where you pray. It's like it's that you're praying in general.
It's the church is where, like, 2 or more people gather in his name.
Yep.
But as a kid, like, so I grew up going to, like, Catholic church with my grandparents and stuff. And my first church I went to was a massive church in Dallas. Like,
So I went
I'm
to
talking
one
1,000-seater.
So like I I used to be Christian,
Yeah.
and listeners, if you've been listening, you know I used to be religious. I remember in Gatesville, man, like there was a big church there we used to go to. And I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty spiritual whenever I was younger. But then, obviously, as I got older, I started to question things. I'm still questioning things, and maybe I might find something because, like I said, the other day, I had that voice telling me that this was going to be my year, and so far,
I
like
told
a
you
half
how
and
to
half.
find it.
It's like a half and half. Well, I was actually talking to another friend last night. I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "I really been thinking about going to church," and he's like, "To find spiritual guidance?" I was like, "No, to see if something happens." He's like, "What do you mean?" And I told him what I told you, and he was like, "Huh, maybe." He's like, "Or it just was a bad dream you had." And he's like, not like bad, but like a weird dream you had. And I was like, "I don't think it was a dream, dude." I was like, I was out. Woke up to the voice telling me this is going to be my year. And may or may not be true, but, you know, there it is. And so, forgot where I was going with this because, yeah, I'm stupid and have ADHD. But, yeah, I thought about going to church because I'm curious, man. Like, I'm kind of, I want to see if maybe something's there for me. And
There's something there for everybody, man.
there's probably something there for me because I'm curious about it when I never have been before. Coincidence? Probably. Not coincidence.
You know me,
No.
bro. Always got the invite extended for you.
I know. You're like, looks like a fish, smell like a fish, probably tastes like a damn fish. It's a fish. Just for those of you who don't know, that's like one of Squash's favorite things is if it looks like that, sounds like that, it's that.
Can't tell you how many times we've been like discussing. female issues or whatnot, and I'm like, man,
Does it look like a duck?
yeah,
Does it
walks
sound like a duck?
quacks
Yeah.
like a duck, or it was one time I said something about does it look like a duck? Yeah. Does it walk like a duck? Yeah. I bet it says quack too,
Yeah.
or works for Affleck.
But yeah, man, like and that's you can definitely find a lot of like camaraderie and brotherhood in religious states too.
Yeah, well, actually, so my brother-in-law and my sister, the church they go to, him and like my nephew and stuff like that, like he brings his kids sometimes, like once a week on like Monday, Tuesday, whatever. They actually have a big breakfast meeting called Brotherhood, and it's like 6 a.m., so all the guys can come before work. And they get there, they have a big, massive breakfast for them. They have like a little
in.
speaker.
I'm in already. I want some breakfast. I'm sorry.
And like I've been to their events. Like they have like really good cooks at that church.
Isn't this the same place where you have that deli?
Yeah.
Dude, that deli is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Some of the best burgers I ever had.
Oh, if that deli was like open on Sundays, like I'd straight leave church and walk right to the
I was
deli.
going to say, why don't they do that?
They're open weird days. I don't know.
That is true. But yeah,
But,
that's what I was thinking, man. Like, speaking of breakfast, convenience store sells biscuits and gravy now.
I saw that.
I floored me. I was like, when did that start happening? Like, oh, it's today. And I was like,
Don't
I
know
like
if,
their biscuits.
I mean, I'm sure it's packaged gravy, but
Yeah, but
I mean, it's no different than what we can get at work.
true.
At least maybe theirs has seasoning in it.
Yeah. Maybe a little less pepper in theirs because we've had some gray gravy before.
That's the best kind.
Oh, it's not.
I love the pepper.
You
I love it spicy.
you just like a gray goop being slopped onto your
Yes.
biscuit. It's just
all
it's
the
just
gray goop.
It looks like it came from. Never mind. I'll be quiet.
I love pepper.
Just over there wagging her tail and making noise. What you doing?
But yeah, no, I mean you can find brotherhood and your friends, and that's really important to have because you can sit here talk about all this random crap, nerd out with your bro. You have someone to have your back when you need it.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you don't have it in your friend group,
I was gonna say if you don't have it in
And-
your friend group, then you probably need to.
find better friends for
I was
one.
gonna say find better friends.
Two, man, hit up your local church. There's always at least somebody there that's willing to.
I would rather have no friends than friends that stab me in the back or
Yeah.
say shit about me behind my back. I guess that's all stabbed in the back type thing. Stabbed in the back kind of covers it all, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Like that. I think that's another reason why like a lot of dudes have such small friend groups is because like we know we can trust them.
Seen the meme. It was like, dudes just think it's okay to have the same 5 friends for 25 years and think it's okay. I'm like, it is. It's great.
We're 100% okay with it because when a new member tries to come in, we're like, nah.
Like one guy's like, hey man, like he's a really cool dude. And we're like, yeah.
Like he can hang out, but like,
Like the other 4 of us are like watching his every move. Like,
yeah.
why does he sit like that?
Yeah, why isn't he got his legs spread out, letting his testicles do their thing? Like, what's wrong with him?
Or like, okay, like we all like went to go help you on your car. This dude just sat here in the house. Like,
Yeah.
what's up with him?
Yeah, well, what the fuck, man? He farted weird. Why would you do that? I don't like you now. You didn't laugh when we farted. What's wrong with you?
But like,
So that's gonna bring me up to my other thing real quick before I see your hand on the mouse. How do you? This is my last thing. We can probably end after this little topic. How do you feel about female friends?
so I
I don't think it's a thing that's. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I am saying most men. I would honestly state probably about 90% of men, maybe a little bit higher, are not friends with women because they are genuinely friends, but because they are trying to get something from that female.
Yeah, so I feel like, I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen, but
And I'm not
to
saying this
be
with every man and
genuinely
female. Yeah.
friends with a female, for me, like, essentially screwing them has to be like off the table.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't hate the comment like, oh, well, if you're like, y'all are genuinely friends, like, one of you's ugly. No, I mean, I'm friends with some attractive females, and I can, as a friend, even, hey, you look really good, nice today, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I miss old school values when you could be like, hey, you look really pretty, and just leave it at that, and no one gets weird.
Yeah.
But
I think what's wrong with me when I do that is because I flirt too much. Even with dudes, like, I just flirt. I'm a flirty kind of guy.
Yeah, you don't dial it back.
I don't. And I know that's probably an issue, but, like, anyway, that's what.
But, like,
I was just curious because, like, I'm starting to get to where I've tried having female friends. It just does not work for me. Especially, like, while I'm single, for obvious reasons, does not work with me because I don't. There are some people I can be friends with, but, like, I couldn't really hang out with them too much.
I will say, it's much easier to be just friends with, like, a female who is, like, say, already married or something like that.
Like our
because,
our
like,
nurse.
it's an off limits thing,
Yeah.
and, like, especially after the things like I've been through in relationships and all that. Like, I mean, if you got a dude. Like, we can hang out, we can be besties, but, like, that's all it ever gonna be. I think on top of, like, just brotherhood, like, with your bros or whatever, like, brotherhood with your fellow man, like, you have to respect their relationship.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, give you an example.
The reason I'm asking about it is because, like I was stating, I'm having a hard time. Like, I can't be friends with females. It's not only because, like, I'm single and I'm trying to find someone. It's also the dynamic that they bring is very hard to match their energy to ours. As well as some of the things we joke about as men, they just don't understand, don't get. Therefore, it ruins certain things. And not to mention, it's not like, hey, man, let's go fucking bust some weights out at the gym. I don't want to have, like, unless there's obviously multiple stations at gyms, but, like, I'm referring, like, hey, we're all going to go hang out at Squatch's house and go into his weight room and just do some shit.
Yeah.
As dudes, whatever weight you put onto that rack, that is the set weight until you change it. Am I not wrong?
No, yeah, like,
And then, like, if you have a female come over and do that, you're gonna, like, keep taking it off, and it changes dynamics. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that I'm getting to where I don't tolerate it anymore.
yeah. So before I started working out at the house, and I would make friends at the gym and stuff. Like, I made friends with this female. She was really cool. And she would come up there with her boyfriend a lot, but a couple times, like, she went up there just by herself, and
Yeah.
so we're just kind of chatting, like, on opposite machines, and we were both, like, fixing to go do a squat. Well, she goes, "Hey, you spot me, I'll spot you." I'm like, I said, okay, like, I mean, I'll definitely spot you. I was like, but respectfully, you weigh like 100 pounds soaking wet.
That's like us.
I'm gonna have to. You're the weight of, like, maybe one side of this bar for me.
But say you're like, I'm currently squatting like 5 of you.
Yeah, and, like, but I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I was like, if you want to spot her, like, here, you go ahead and go first.
Yeah.
And pretty much it worked out as once she did her last set, that was a good warm up weight for me. So I banged out about. Banged out. It was horrible. I knocked out about 10 reps of that, and then I started stripping weight off and, putting plates on there. Fuck, I'm doing it.
He's over here banging it, and he's stripping the weight off her.
But she was like, no, like we can like switch out between sets. I'm like, no, I don't want to have to keep changing this.
Yeah, that gets annoying for me too on the bed.
Plus, when you're doing that with a dude, you tricked me into walking into that one.
Dude, your face was priceless. You just continued the motherfucker.
But
I'm sorry, dude. That was awesome.
But no, like so, like if you're like lifting like with a dude or like jogging with your buddy or whatever. With guys, we tend to get competitive.
Yes.
Even if it's like we're just gonna drop down and do push-ups.
That's not happening for me.
And but it's like
I can't, dude. I'm so physically weak. It's
like
unreal.
here's my thing. Like for me is like I don't care how bad it hurts me. If we're doing them together and you do 25 right now, I'm gonna at least try to get to 26.
Yep.
And I believe
or relatively
that
close
is
to
one
what
of the
you did.
most healthy things with brotherhood.
Yes.
Is that male camaraderie and competition.
We'll go outside in a second.
And
Sorry.
it just it pushes you along health wise, in business, in life. Like
Yep.
like it's like when we talk about like doing like various businesses, like
Well, we'll get
say,
there
like-
one day, bro.
like hypothetically, well, you like we both talked about doing various types of food trucks or whatever.
I would love to do that.
And so say like, you want to do your like cheesecake thing or whatever. And I've talked about doing like a little burger stand or whatever. It's like I call you and like, you're like, hey man, dude, I did like $1,000 today. I'm like, dude, where were you at? Okay. I need to find an area like that. I'm gonna try to do like 1,500 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then it's not
well,
like we're competing with each
it
other.
helps you
but
push
we're-
to be better.
Cause then you're like
it
at the
does.
same time, like I want to do better than you, but also I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Like
Yeah.
then like I'm gonna call
It's-
you, dude. I did 1,600 yesterday.
It's like a leapfrog of encouragement. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and like that's what your circle of brotherhood should be. Like
Yeah.
pushing each other, whether it be in the gym, in business, whatever. Like
I was gonna say something and it completely slipped my mind.
how we really talking about the stuff that I like talking about? Like,
Huh?
we really talking about the stuff I like talking about, and like,
We're getting there. We got it.
um,
We'd like to talk about a lot of things, though. I'm excited for this Marvel talk later.
oh yeah,
That's that's probably gonna be like a couple parter there, I think.
oh yeah. Like,
So
I think we could do an episode on each character of the Deadpool movie. Just
maybe not each character, the more like well-known, renowned ones, but
okay, at least 4 of the characters.
I don't think Elektra's gonna go very far with us. She only had the one film, and I don't care too much for her comics and everything. I'm not saying she's a bad
Yeah.
character, but I kind of wish they would have had somebody else instead of her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there was other people. They could have brought in like Rogue or something like that. Jean Grey,
I was thinking, Ben Affleck,
Storm.
Storm would have been great. Would like to have seen Halle Berry's fucking Storm. I think they actually extended it off. Stop it. Stop. No. Bad. Oh, shit.
I did hear rumors of the Ben Affleck thing, and I was really hoping to see him in the Daredevil suit again.
I would have loved to have seen that happen out of nowhere. How awesome would it have been to see two of like the most classic red outfit superhero, anti-hero characters on the same screen together.
Yeah.
Like,
God forbid.
We've
if they
seen
coulda-
Iron Man and Spider-Man together. I would
God
like to
forbid
see
if they
like,
could have got like maybe Toby in there too.
that would have been kind of interesting.
But they don't want to like declare they're wiping his universe out because I think they want to
True.
use him in Secret Wars.
We got topic another time. We can't. We can't. This would go on for another 5 hours, man.
Yeah, all right. Well, so
On
before
that
we
note,
completely jump into discussing the MCU multiverse and all that,
Just Marvel in general, because I got some grub I want to drop later because the end of this year is going to be exciting for video games. I'm telling you right now, dude, I am stoked.
with that, man, guys, just be your brother's keeper, man. Have his
Yep.
back. Take care of your circle of brothers.
And don't forget that thing at the beginning. We are here if you need to reach out. We can. Squatch has got that number for you to call if you need to. Like,
Yep. If you feel like you need to talk to someone that is beyond just reaching out to a friend or your favorite podcasters or whatever, 988. They have professionals on the line waiting to answer.
I just had the JG Wentworth 8765. I'm sorry.
And also, if you have a number for a great ADHD professional, we could probably both use him.
I forgot you play harmonica. I just looked over and saw it.
God. But yeah, reach out to us. Hit us up on. We have Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We're available on Amazon Music, Spotify, and of course the YouTubes.
Yep. The only like three I really know by heart: Spotify, Facebook.
These are the three important
Instagram.
ones.
Yeah, the three important ones.
We kind of mentioned earlier, kind of thinking we're going to start maybe doing some occasional like exclusive content like YouTube or Facebook, like maybe going live and having just a little chat discussion and it won't be on Spotify or anything like that.
Yeah,
like,
you'll have to go to YouTube to
like
to
YouTube,
see us.
Facebook, whatever,
Yeah.
like kind of keep a little exclusivity on certain things. Like I don't want to just put everything out on everything that way.
No, yeah, I mean, gotta have some kind of.
Well, for one, I want
separation.
incentive to follow us on various things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because if you're going to get to see, live chats with us only on Facebook, hit us up on there.
I just kicked
Before-
your chair at the back of my heel.
Follow us and, maybe drop some good reviews so Zuckerdouche doesn't keep messing with us.
Zuckerdouche.
There goes the sharing for this episode.
Elon bitch. I'm just joking. It's jokes.
Hey, Twitter is open game. You can talk about conservative stuff, liberal stuff,
Fucking apparently.
porn, whatever.
Apparently, dude. I think on that note, that's.
We might jump on Twitter next so we can just offend everybody.
Oh, I thought we were going to jump on. Okay, never mind. My bad.
All right, but thank y'all for listening, man. This has been awesome. We hope to catch you on the next one.